Well, we begin with a historic night in Iowa. Donald Trump scored a historic win in last night's Iowa caucuses, breaking several records and carrying, get this, 98 of the state's 99 counties in a landslide victory. And he was just one vote away from carrying all 99. With 99% of the vote in, Donald Trump clinched 51% of the votes. Ron DeSantis came in a distant second place with 21%. He beat Nikki Haley, who came in third, with 19%. Vivek Ramaswamy, meanwhile, suspended his presidential campaign after coming in fourth, and he endorsed Trump. Trump took to the stage after his big win.
I really think this is time now for everybody, our country, to come together. We want to come together, whether it's Republican or Democrat or liberal or conservative. I want to congratulate Ron and Nikki for having a good time together. I think they both actually did very well. We're going to seal up the border because right now we have an invasion. We can't have that. It's not sustainable as a country. It's horrible. So I don't want to be overly rough on the president, but I have to say that he is the worst president that we've had in the history of our country. He's destroying our country. The people in our country are great. They're all great. They want our country to come back. They want America. You know, they want us to be great again. It's a very simple. MAGA, make America great again. And America first. America first is a very important part of MAGA.
And now all eyes are on New Hampshire for the remaining candidates. The primary there just 1 week away, and all three of the candidates are headed there for events later today. Poll out last week shows Trump leading among likely primary voters with 39%. Haley right behind him with 32%. It was a great victory speech. President Trump praised his rivals. He talked about Biden's historic lows. He thanked several people. I really liked the tone. But Harris, I want to talk about the decisive win of President Trump. So making history meant getting a 12.8% margin. Well, he crushed history with a 30-point margin. He didn't campaign in all 99 counties, but yet he swept nearly all 99 counties. And then finally, you know, the media set this bar. He needs to jump over 50%. Well, he jumped over 50%.
Yeah, and you know, while we did see some good numbers at some of the not polling, but the caucus sites, we saw some people come out in all that cold and already predicted historic weather. The numbers were not what they were, you know, in prior years, big years. So even with all of that, he got a lion's share of the votes, 51%. So all those people who had talked about, but Ron DeSantis did this, spent all this money on the ground and all, that may be why he came in second place, even though it's distant. Nikki Haley came in a little bit later with some of that, but made up with millions of dollars in ads. And maybe that's why she came in a distant to Ron DeSantis in third place. But when you look at the total picture, what is the road ahead for either one of them at this point? And that's what I think voters will key in on. They'll look at New Hampshire, a very different electorate, you know, in many ways more independent, more liberal, at least understanding, if not leaning, right? So you've got a little bit more moderate there among the Republicans and some conservatives, very conservative. So you run the gamut there. How do they do in that state? I'll be watching for that because that's going to be a difference.
So let's look at New Hampshire. Let's pull up those numbers. This is Real Clear Politics average of polls, and it's very interesting, Doug. So take a look at this, and I'm going to do some math here with our viewers. You see Trump 43.5%, Haley 29.3%, and then you can see Christie no longer in it at 11.3%, so on and so forth. But I bring this up because if you add Christie and Haley, because Christie voters will mostly go for Haley, we've seen, that gets you to 40. Trump's at 43.5%, so she's in the race, but wait, Vivek just dropped out, and most of his voters go to Trump, so you add that in and you get Trump to nearly 50%. So DeSantis is holding back that support because DeSantis support, I would argue, would go to Trump.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you on that. But I think here's the bigger picture. Yeah, we're in football season. Everybody's been watching football. Kansas City won. I mean, life is good.
See, I'm wearing red.
There we go. For all of us. But I remember the old Monday Night Football. You had Howard Cosell. You had Danny Don Meredith. Danny Don Meredith get to the fourth quarter. The game was out. He'd start singing, "Turn out the light. The party's over." The party's over. This is last night when you saw 51%, when you saw the domination. By the way, the one county that Nikki Haley won, she won it with Democrat crossovers who won't be showing back up in the Republican. They'll be voting Democrat in November to win that one county. So it was really a sweep. What you just brought out in the numbers, I think, though, is the thing that I think the Haley camp and the DeSantis camp and all have to look at. There is no path. Let's just say, for instance, it's very close in New Hampshire, or maybe she even somehow remarkably pulls off an upset, which I don't think will happen. Where does she go from there? She's going to lose her own home state by 20 to 25 points. Super Tuesday will be a complete wipeout. Nevada caucuses, primary, she won't win there. This is Donald Trump's now, and I think the consolidation message that he spoke of last night, I agree with you. When he is in this kind of mode, when he is speaking to the people just like he's speaking to, he is very attractive to a lot of candidates and a lot of people who will come to him. So I think looking at this is the move forward. It's not bad. I think we've had a competitive time, but when you look at the money being spent, also, from Ron DeSantis' point of view, you spend not just the 80 or whatever million he spent there, but the 300 million that's sort of been spent or been thrown around, and this is as good as you get, and you don't even win a county. Yeah, it's a problem. Yeah,
now Nikki Haley's team would say, look, yes, but we're looking at New Hampshire. Democrats and independents can vote there. We could pull this off. But to your point, you're staring down a very hard path thereafter. Her home state in particular, where Trump has a commanding lead. Emily, interestingly, the top issue to voters, we always hear the economy, yes, important, but immigration, 41% of caucus goers said immigration, and it just harkens you back to 2016, where you had Donald Trump, the businessman, saying, build the wall, bringing up immigration, and here we go again in 2024.
Right, and in his victory speech last night, he said, we are going to seal the border. Now let's talk about why. As recently as Sunday, the Iowa Republican Party chair said, I really think that immigration is paramount, he said. He said it's not going away. And look at what we discovered, that yes, the majority of Iowans felt that immigration was their top priority over the economy. And I watched a couple other networks this morning, and I was curious about their coverage. And they seem to tie that in with an ugly, frankly, approach, an ugly mindset that had to do with skin tone. It has nothing to do with that. And when you talk to Iowans and you talk to the issues that are facing that, it has to do with quality of life and priority. Do you know that 8 out of 10 Trump voters there in Iowa, the #1 reason that they voted for him was because he fights for people like me? And when you contrast that with, for example, migrants getting free new housing in Maine, Iowans are seeing record homelessness. When you think about the drugs pouring over the southern border, Iowans saw a 120% spike in overdose deaths last year. The issues that many people phrase as being contained on the southern border have spread throughout the country, and Iowans, like all Americans, see that. They see that Eagle Pass spends 21 grand a day on migrant emergencies, because their emergencies are getting strained also because of the drugs flooding in, because of the infrastructure strain and the like. It has nothing to do with skin color. And I think the sooner that the mainstream media and the Democrats see this, the sooner that they would see it's about what Americans feel like is about them. And Trump nailed that for them.
Yeah, the comments you reference are from Joy Reid. There must have been something very special in her drinking water last night. We'll have those comments for you later in the show. But Leslie, coming back to last night, if I'm Joe Biden and I watch this, and we'll get into next block, his response to this, but the thing that worries me is a passionate, enthusiastic base that went out in bone-chilling temperatures. Trump has a hard lock on this base. They are showing up in 2024. The Biden base, I don't know. They're a little bit weaker, a little more tepid. Do they show up?
Well, I think they do. At this point, if you remember, in 2020, and I'm not going to say this is 2020 or all over again, or in the green room, Doug was saying, I think it's 2016 all over again. Look, and I just want to say, so far, I agree with what Harris and Doug said, because my governor, Gavin Newsom, had said to Ron DeSantis, you're going to drop out and you're going to support Trump. And that's going to happen after New Hampshire, but he definitely was helping Trump by staying in the game and not giving Nikki Haley #2. But #2 is not #1. There's only a spot for #1. And I do think we need to give props to Donald Trump, because not everybody came out with the weather. And that,
right,
that
but
number
do you think the
50%.
Biden base will turn out?
I do think the Biden base will turn out, because what happened in 2020, and I see it happening now. Now that's the same race, even though it's the same people, it's different time, and voters change their minds. A couple of things. One, you have it between that guy and this guy, blue and red, Democrat and Republican. And that could be approximately 45% or more of voters on both sides. So that sliver, it's going to be the issue that matters to them. For some, it's immigration in a border state. For some, it's the economy. So yes, I think the enthusiasm will increase and they will turn out for him.
For both, it's the economy. It's almost like they're really, really close, and the economy is always there, especially if it's not working for you.
Yep.
The border's driving it, though.
Well, the first presidential contest over, the next one coming right up next Tuesday.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kayleigh McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.